and Jalen 2013 NBA Preview.
It's the Atlanta Hawks.
Peace up, A-Town down.
One of your favorite cities on the planet.
Yes.
Let's look at the collective mindset of the fan base of the Hawks. This is the world's largest tequila shot ever.
You're 1 minute away from the largest shot.
At a place in downtown Atlanta, Jalen. Atlanta nightlife.
There's some constructive things that they could be doing with those poles inside of that warehouse.
So, here's the point. I don't think Atlanta people are going to care what happens to the Hawks this year. They know it's a transition year. They're going to be going to clubs. They're going to be doing the world's largest tequila shot. They're going to be moving on and trusting in Danny Ferry, the relatively new GM, that he's going to have a plan.
A lot of the fans saw the era of Joe Johnson and Josh Smith, who's an Atlanta native. They appreciated making the playoffs with those players leading the way, along with Al Horford, who's a terrific all-star caliber player. But now that both of those players are gone, especially to a lot of them, Joe Johnson's contract is gone.
Yep.
It gives Danny Ferry the opportunity to actually build around Horford.
Let's see what they did last summer.
This wouldn't be a bad place to try to bottom out either. But the one thing about being in Atlanta, you can sign key free agents like they did with Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap, 2 years, $19 million, was the biggest deal of the summer. And I have no idea how they got him for that price.
Well, let me tell you. Hey, sign these 2 years, wink, wink, and we'll give you another 4 when they're up.
Oh, you think that was a wink-winker?
Absolutely.
You think Joe Smith knows about that?
I think it's the same deal. Let me get this right. Andre Karolinko had $10 million guaranteed for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
He opts out for $3 million. That's a wink, wink.
With a Russian owner.
Correct. I think the same thing for the Paul Millsap deal. He was the kind of player that could have got a 4 or 5 year deal from another team.
Are we sure Al Horford's happy to be on this team?
Yes, he's talked about it recently.
Okay.
One thing about being competitive is you like when the organization comes to you and say, we're going to build around you. What do you think about this move? What do you think about signing that player? At that point, your pride kicks in, and you say, I'm going to lead us. Then after you do it as long as Iverson did in Philly or KG did in Minnesota, you realize, I got to get out of here if I'm going to win a championship.
Right. Well, you did that. You were asked to do that in Indiana and in Chicago.
Yes. And that's always
And that Chicago team was one of those, I got to get out of here.
That's one of those tough situations. As a veteran, you tend to realize that getting your money is obviously important and being a professional, but winning is everything.
Unless you're Al Jefferson.
Got to get his money. Big Al had to get his money.
He's got a $23,000 bed. He's got to get that money.
Baby need shoes, partner need bail money.
Well, as you can see, they also lost Josh Smith's shot selection.
They did.
Which was nice for the Hawks.
He and Ron Artest, when they stand behind the three-point line, there's a collective sigh.
Right. They drafted the Brazilian guy, and they drafted the German guy. They also added Gustavo Ayan, who I've always liked. So they're slowly just adding countries to this team, along with Kyle Korver.
They have a long way to go.
Now, hold on, you might get excited when you see the rotation. Ooh, I like the starting five a little bit.
Lou Williams is coming back from an injury. He's a heat check type player. Paul Millsap is 6'7", 6'8".
Right.
Kyle Korver has legitimate size. Small backcourt.
Small. Basically, it's a three-guard offense, we were guessing. Who knows what they're going to start.
And Elton Brand keep getting them checks, big fella.
He's the best, right?
If you're not fortunate enough to be a superstar, build-around, go-to guy, you got to try to find a way to have the world call you a veteran. That's one of the best compliments somebody can pay you in pro sports. Ask Tim Tebow if he would love somebody to call him a veteran in football.
He's going to be a veteran announcer in about 8 years.
Correct.
Here's Zach Lowe's sneaky big question about Atlanta. Is there another shoe to drop?
They have nothing to give up.
Zach says, is this the NBA's most secretly entertaining team? I don't know if I agree with that, but he loves Paul Millsap. He likes Al Horford.
Really?
Lou Williams. They have some fun players in this team. They have the German guy.
Zach watches too much basketball.
Come on, he knows his stuff, Zach.
I know he does, and that's one of those cases when you analyze and then you overanalyze.
He loves Paul Millsap.
And you look deeper into the roster and you say what you just said. You like all of those players, but the problem is it's a team game.
So is Atlanta going to try to go for the 6th seed, or are they going to try to go the other way and stink?
I don't think they're better than Detroit, Cleveland, or Washington.
Ooh, I don't know. I think all of those teams are kind of in the same quagmire. You talked about Al Horford. They're building around Al Horford if they're going to make it his team. Well, what if the team stinks? And what if Al Horford says, this sucks? I don't like being on this team.
That's
you
where,
gave me my team, and my team's not good.
That's where the guaranteed contracts work both ways. Big fella, we have you on the contract for the next couple of years.
Yeah, for a cheap price.
We have
$12 million.
We have practice at 10 tomorrow.
Yeah.
We got a game tomorrow night at 7:30. We need you there.
Clairvoyant Bill feels like there might be some Al Horford trade rumors coming, especially if the Hawks start out slow. Clairvoyant Bill looks at the Chicago Bulls. Clairvoyant Bill sees all the trade assets they have. They have Carlos Boozer, who only has 2 years left in his contract, guaranteed 18 and 10. They have the rights to Nikola Mirotic, the most prized European rookie out there. Everybody loves him. Big trade asset, forward. They have Charlotte's future #1 pick. You can cash in unprotected.
You know, that's going to be a high
2016.
pick.
It's a nice pick. They have their own #1 pick. They also have this. Joakim Noah and Al Horford played in Florida together, best friends. Joakim Noah, who we did a commercial with, told me he loved playing with Al Horford more than anybody else he's ever played with. Just they were like frickin' frack. Like everything they did together just meshed. It was just perfect. If you're Chicago, would you godfather Atlanta for Al Horford?
Besides Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, and Noah,
Everyone else is available.
you can have any of these guys if you're going to give me Al Horford. Matter of fact, you could take all of those guys and just give me him.
Would you do it if you're
As a big
Atlanta?
man. If I was Atlanta, yes. It gives me more assets, gives me more draft picks, gives me more flexibility. Boozer can still score 17 points.
I think I would do it too. Let's look at Goldsberry's graphic, because he did Al Horford. Underrated's a word that gets thrown around, but statistically, the guy's just fantastic. Now, he shot 54% last year. You see all the reds. Anything around the paint, he is as above average as you can get, and he's got that little corner shot.
We need our guy Boogie
To
to
study the
develop
shot
like
chart.
this.
He's the
Correct?
anti-boogie. Triangle loves them because they love the Brazilian guy's hair. Look at that hair.
He was a
Shades on.
trending topic at the draft.
It was fantastic. Shades of Oscar Gamble way, way back then. They said, who cares about the season? This guy's great. Now, sadly, he's going to be overseas.
He's what, 17
I would have
years
kept
old,
him on
18 years old?
I would have kept him on the bench just for the hair shots.
I would have kept him on the bench for the development.
He's really like the Brazilian Bill Russell, but with an afro. Last but not least,
Give the people what they want.
oh no. Get the editor ready.
For those that don't know, that place right there, if
The Gold
those
Club.
walls could talk, so much so, there was a trial that surrounded some of my favorite NBA players about the going-ons in that place. So much so, Mr. Simmons, if you had a back-to-back game, you be in the previous city telling your teammates, you hurry up with the media, you hurry up and take a shower, you hurry up and get to the bus. We need to get to Atlanta so we can hit the Gold Club. When the bus pulls up at the hotel, the bags go in the hotel.
The players don't go in the
The
hotel?
players don't go in the hotel.
No hotel trips? Huh?
You go to the Gold Club.
Right away, huh?
You know how when you're playing Monopoly,
Yeah,
you pass go, you get $200?
yeah.
It was clockwork. And it was fun. It was
Yeah.
respectable. It was gentlemen of leisure having a great time in Atlanta.
And it led to a very embarrassing and long trial. So, I also have a Gold Club story. I bet you weren't expecting a Gold Club
I
story from
was
me.
not. Is it going to be a Chris Rock, no sex in the champagne room type thing?
Summer of 2001, I just started writing for ESPN.com. And I'm racked with guilt of leaving my old website and maybe giving up creative freedom and all worried about working for the man, all this stuff. I decided to write an idiot's guide to the Gold Club column. And I'm like, I'm just going to see how far I can push it and what they'll let. They mutilated the column. They cut like 30% of it. And it was probably one of the best columns I ever wrote because there was so much stuff to work with. I don't know if you remember, but At one point, one of the strippers was called like the Michael Jordan of strippers, and that was how they introduced her in the trial and stuff, repeatedly as the Michael Jordan of strippers. Like, the Michael Jordan of strippers, what does that even mean? Patrick Ewing had multiple people coming at him in the champagne room, and
You know, the Gold Club is the 31st NBA team.
really,
Yeah.
it's like the Sonics.
Yeah.
It went away. Wow. R.I.P. the Gold Club. But you should mention, an inordinate amount of NBA players randomly just settle in the Atlanta area for reasons that remain unclear.
Good weather.
Okay.
It's a place that's more metropolitan than you think, especially in the South.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A did start in Atlanta, closes on Sunday. It's become a melting pot because it has one of the best and most affluent airports out there. Atlanta's a very good town.
You love Atlanta. Atlanta's in your top 3.
I love the A-Town.
You didn't want to do rankings.
Peace up,
but
A-Town down.
It's time for our 24-second prediction clock. Make some predictions on the Atlanta Hawks.
The Atlanta Hawks will not have an exciting season. I think they're going to be able to use Al Horford, as we mentioned, as an exciting opportunity to rebuild for their future. It'd be great if they traded him to Chicago.
I think they bottom out somehow, and I don't know how they do it, but I think Ferry's come too far at this point. He's going to try to bottom out. The Horford thing, I think they only trade him unless it's a Godfather offer, and it might. The Bulls have the pieces.
It's hard to get excited about the teams that are in the lower 10 of the league.
You know what you should get excited about? After we're done filming these first 15, we're going to feed you lobster.
Yes.
And it's going to be awesome.
Grilled, well done.
Come back for Bill and Jalen's NBA preview. Number 21 coming up.